Hi everybody, my name's Catherine and this is my channel So Much Sewing. On this channel we talk all about sewing and today is Friday Sews. Friday Sews is a really neat little package that Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room created. It's just a space where everybody can post under the same hashtag, where vloggers can post under the hashtag talking about their week, what they managed to get done during the week, what their plans are coming up, and perhaps a little bit about life. And from the viewer's perspective, again, it's a great little package. Just type in hashtag Friday Sews into the YouTube search bar and you'll find a whole bunch of new and interesting vloggers all talking about their sewing experience. And let's face it, we're all here for the sewing. We all love the sewing. It's our mental health, it's our hobby, and it's really what gets us fired up. Well, it is for me anyway, and I presume it is for you too, otherwise you would not be here. Today I'm just going to talk you through a number of makes that I have finished recently. There's the Nina pants by Tazuti. I've been talking about those for a while. There is a Mila jumper from Tammy Handmade, which was totally out of left field. I didn't know I was going to be making that, but make it I did. I've made the Camille dress from Style Arc, which again I've been talking about for quite a while, and another make, the Bellavista from Itch to Stitch, which again I haven't thought about making before. It just popped up. Well, no, obviously I had been thinking about making it because I had the pattern, but it wasn't in my immediate plans, I guess is what I should say. And also another top. I have just been firing them out, unbelievably so, considering that, you know, a couple of 3 weeks ago I was completely and utterly bogged down by indecision, not knowing what I should make, where I should start, but I'm on fire at the moment. And then I will also talk to you about my plans for my makes for the entering the hashtag So April Blouse 23 on the Instagram. It's an Instagram challenge being run by Gabriel from Cloth Edit and by Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl. I haven't entered this competition before, so this will be my first year and I'm really looking forward to it, getting involved, getting stuck in, putting my entry, probably more than one entry I would think, but I'll talk you through my first thoughts. I should tell you what I'm wearing today. This is the Elton blouse by the Cashmerette. It's part of the club, the Cashmerette club. You pay, well, for the level that I'm on, I pay about $19 New Zealand per month, and for that every month there is a free pattern, and this is one of them, the Elton blouse. It's got these fantastic sleeves. Can you see the pleats on there? I've just realized I haven't got my microphone on, so I might just actually stop proceedings and plug myself in. There we go. It will actually be interesting to see if the microphone does make much of a difference or not. But as I was saying, I was talking about the Elton blouse. The pleats here, they're very easy to do. I had not done pleats before, and so they are a really nice feature. Just an elastic cuff. I can't remember if the pattern called for an elastic cuff or if I just put one on myself. I think it might have called for an elastic cuff. I've made this out of a amazing wool cotton mix. I think there's a lot of wool in there. It is quite see-through. I don't know if you can, it is quite see-through, but I mean that helps make it, you know, it traps air inside, and you know, it does all those, has all those great properties that wool has. And so this is more of a sort of a autumny wintry top. When it gets really cold I wear something underneath it, but I love it. I love the style. It's I mean, we call them bush shirts in New Zealand. I think they do in Australia as well. There's a company called Swan Dry who has made bush shirts in New Zealand since I don't know when. I'll put some pictures up, I guess, so that you can see what I'm talking about. And I think this is a sort of a fun make feminine sort of take on the classic bush shirt that we wear. I suppose Americans, it might be a sort of a lumberjack type shirt, but I think it's a really fun take on that, and I just love it. And when I walked downstairs in it earlier, my husband looked at me with goo eyes. He just loves this shirt. I've got some jeans on as well. He just loves me in jeans and this shirt. He's so cute. But anyway, so that is what I am wearing today. The first make I will talk to you about is the Nina pants by Tazuti. I made them in this bengaline. It's not my colourway. Nothing wrong with it. Just generally not my colourway. I did get this fabric, Style Arc do bundles, and I got a bundle of a pants pattern with some fabric, and this was the fabric that came with the Style Arc bundle, but I have used it with the Tazuti pattern. I hope that's not illegal. And it's got an amazing amount of stretch. It's nice fabric, it really is, but just not my cup of tea. So I thought I would make it with as a toile. I wouldn't be upset if the pants didn't work out well enough. I feel like they're actually quite good. They're better than I thought they were going to be. I've just been dreading making pants, even though I've been talking about making pants for a while. I've got a strange shape. I'm apple. I've got a larger tummy. I've got, my waist is is large. My lower hip area, I've sort of got a bit of an apron belly there, mum tum, whatever you want to call it. And then I've got skinny little scrawny stick legs. So pants, generally I find when I buy pants, I have to buy stretchy pants, which is why I like the whole skinny jean situation, because it shows off my slim legs, and because the stretch in the fabric allows it to go around my larger tummy. So I have been dreading making pants, but I bit the bullet and I made these, and like I say, they turned out much better than I thought they would. They've got a nice little split on the cuff here, on the hem cuff, and I like the way that turned out. I like that little split there. The zip, it called for an invisible zip, and I purchased an invisible zip getting ready for this project. And then when it came to doing the sewing, my Whizzy machine that I bought I got it just before lockdown, so what's that, 3 years or something like that. My Whizzy fabulous Brother NVQ 1800, which I love, doesn't have a zipper foot, an invisible zipper foot on it. So I ended up putting just a standard zip in, which is fine. It's actually a khaki colour zip, even though this is what I had, khaki coloured. When I first put the zip in, I put the zip right up here at the top. I can't have read the instructions properly, I'm not sure. And I wondered why there was a big hole down here. I wondered why the notch for the zipper was so far down and there was a hole there. So I put the zip in, and then I realised my mistake. So I took the zip out and I reconstructed that part. But yeah, overall, I made a size 16 around the waist and 14 around the hips and the rest of the way down. I'll put the measurements in of what that is down here. And I was actually quite surprised by the fit. I was quite happy with it. I'll just pop them on and I'll show them to you. So these are the pants. Like I say, I think the fit is surprisingly good. It's better than I thought it was going to be. Fit around the top is good. I actually haven't checked myself out from the back, so I don't know what that looks like. I generally prefer my pants to be a firmer fit on the leg, but I guess not all pants are designed to be like that. So, oh, there's a funny little bubble there. But at the end of the day, I call these a success. This is my next make. It's the Camille dress by Style Arc. It's quite a new pattern. I love the detail here. There's a seam that runs from here all the way down the front on both sides, and you put a triangular inset in there, and then it's a little bit sort of shorter here. I love it. I love it so much. This colour I really adore. So yeah, I count this as a success. I would generally wear this with black tights and black boots, I think. There is one thing that I'm not amazingly happy with this dress, even though it came out beautifully. I had no issue sewing it at all. The instructions were fabulous. I know Style Arc patterns, people often say that the instructions are terrible, but you know, to my mind, they're no worse than a Big Four sort of instruction sheet. But so it came together really quickly. It was a very simple sew, but personally for me, I'm just not so keen on this neckline, because for me personally, I feel it draws attention to, I've got some wrinkly skin here under here where I used to have a bigger chin, and so I just feel like it's neon flashing lights pointing to this area. So when I make it again, and I will make it again, I will just make this a lower, just probably a standard neckband, you know, like on a sweatshirt. I'm not keen on that sort of standard polo kind of scenario like that, so I'll probably just make a standard sweatshirt neckline, and I think that will be absolutely amazing. I've got that purple merino that I've been banging on about for a while, so I think that's what I will remake this beautiful little number in. I just love it. So easy to wear. This is just a rayon jersey that I picked up off out of someone's D-stash on Trade Me. Got it for a good price. So while I'm very, very happy with this dress, I'll be happy to make it in a fabric and just with a couple of little tweaks, mainly here, that will just make it a little bit more me, and I will love it just that little bit more. This is my next make. It's the Bellavista top by Itch to Stitch. This has been on my radar for a long time. I have been meaning to make it for a long time, but just hadn't got around to it. And then I was casting about my room looking for something to make, just something hopefully quick to make that would be a great sort of warmer weather item. And I hit upon this. I already had it printed out. And I just love this big snuggly cowl neck. It's got an insert in the front here, and it also has pet hairs on it, of course. But I took the opportunity, this fabric has got a self stripe around it, and I took the opportunity to just run that stripe the other way in the front panel there. I like the sleeves. They've called them a bell sleeve, but they're not super floppy woppy. I like the length that they're at, and like I say, they're not super floppy and large. So I really like that. So yeah, I'm very happy with this top. It's a great addition to my, probably more winter, because this fabric is quite warm and snuggly. Great addition to my wardrobe. I've made a Megan Longline cardigan by Tazuti out of this fabric, and I have a little bit left. I think I bought about 5 meters or something when I bought it. So I'm happy to have made up some of that, get some of that out of my stash. And this, I wish you could feel how thick and delicious and snuggly this fabric is. It just is really lovely. And so, like I say, I think this is an awesome addition to my wintry wardrobe. This is another surprise make. Again, I told you I was on a roll, and I was casting about my sewing room looking for ideas, and I had printed out this is the Mila jumper by Tammy Handmade. It's another, you know, new pattern, and I have been in two minds about it because I know it's sort of a dolmany, batwingy type style. It's quite a boxy fit for my shape. I know I'm not really good with boxy type fits. They don't generally do a lot for my shape, but I thought I would give it a go. I saw a couple of lovely versions. I saw Alex Judge Sews made a nice version, and also I saw that the Yorkshire Sew Girl Rowan had made a nice leopardy print version. And I looked at quite a lot of reviews, and the reviews sort of talked about the neckline being quite large, and I could see on the photos that the arms were super long. So I cut a size, what size did I cut? Put it down here what size I cut for the majority of the top, but around the shoulder and the neckline I cut the smallest size because everyone was saying what a roomy fit it was around here, and I am quite sort of small on the shoulders anyway, so I thought that might be something that worked, and it did. I feel like it worked really well. So smallest size on the shoulders and the neckline, and the largest size I think it was everywhere else. I haven't finished the hem around the bottom, and I'm not going to because I quite like the way it rolls up like that. I haven't finished the hem on the sleeves either, but because they are long. Did I shorten them any? I don't think I did shorten them any. So I'm just going to roll it up, and this is just around the home snuggle. I've made it out of a really nice French terry that I got a long time ago from, I think it was Drapers here in New Zealand. It's just so snuggly. I put it on and I don't want to take it off. I love it. Like I say, possibly not my favourite shape on me. I'm not so keen on all this under the arms here, but this is so good for snuggling around home. That I love it, and it's been hard for me to take it off since I made it a few days ago. And this is my last make that I would like to share with you. I do then have a plan that I would like to share after this, but this is made out of a Stoff cotton jersey that I got from the Dahlia Society. I love these ladies. They're Art Deco ladies, and the colours are just my colours. I just love it. I saw it on her website when she had it last time, and I wasn't fast enough to get any. This time I got 1.75 metres. I'm not sure why I hit upon 1.75 metres. It was just a number I pulled out of the air. I have been trying to be a bit more restrained when I purchase fabric. I normally buy 3 metres. That's my default, but I'm ending up with a lot of large offcuts, but not large enough to do anything really interesting with, you know, a metre here and 3/4 of a metre there. So I thought that if I got 1.75, I should be able to make myself a top. I have also realised that all my tops are long and baggy, and I want to make some tops that are shorter, you know, that sits sort of more about my hip line rather than down below my bottom. So I combined everything that I wanted to do in this top. This is actually a Big 4. I'll put a picture of it up here for you. I can't remember what it is exactly at the moment, but I bought a whole bunch of pattern Postie here in New Zealand, which I'll put a link down below to. It has a lot of patterns, you know, all the patterns, all the Big 4, plus she also has some style arc and Jali, a lot of Jali patterns. And so she was having a going out of print, you know, selling off the going out of print patterns for $5.95, which is cheap for New Zealand. Generally at full price a pattern is sort of 18 or 20 or $25 for Vogue, that sort of thing. So $5.95 is as cheap as we get here in New Zealand, and so I snapped up several, and this was one of them. And I love the way it came out. I was a bit nervous, I have to say, because I haven't always had the best success with big 4 patterns, fitting mostly. That they seem to come up quite large, but I thought I couldn't go wrong with this. I went down a size to what I thought I should make. I think that's what I did. I know I made the XL rather than the XXL, and I'll put the measurements here. My measurements are 107.94 or something like that, and 114 centimeters. So I'll put the measurements of this size that I made down below here. But I couldn't be happier. I'm not 100% sure about these dangle bits there, but I love it. Look, it's got that little flap that's actually sewn into the hand sewn into the neckline at the top there, so that's goes all the way up, and I just think it's something different. I think I had this offcut of chiffon laying around, which I think goes perfectly. It fits the bill as far as, you know, where it hits me on my hip. Very comfortable. I didn't actually have quite enough fabric, and the sleeves I thought were going to be very short. I cut the sleeves. I had already shortened the sleeves, and then when I lay the pattern on my fabric, I just didn't have enough to cut out the shortened sleeve that I had already made, and so I cut it out much shorter, and I just put a cuff, an off-cut cuff on the bottom. But as it turns out, I probably didn't need to. That's where the cuff starts. So I probably could have, which was a surprise to me because it looked really short, but then again it's a drop shoulder, so I don't know. But it's all worked out beautifully well. I can just fold that up, and I wish you could feel how gorgeous this feels on. So yeah, again, another make I was not expecting to make, and yet now that I've made it, I just adore it. Last thing I want to talk to you about is my first, and I say my first because I think I'm probably going to enter more than once, my first entry into the Sew April Blouse 23 is going to be this by Jolie Labs. Jolie Lab. It's the Bloom top or dress. You can put frills down here if you would like to. You can have the buttons down the front, or you can have the buttons down the back. You can have those cute little slightly puffed, slightly capped sleeves for a summer make, but of course I'm going to make the long sleeved version here. I think I'm going to make that with the ruffles. Again, because I would like some tops that are sitting at my hip rather than down below my bottom. And I like the sort of voluminous A-line shape of that, but I don't think it's going to be, and because it's going to be shorter, it's not going to swallow me up. One thing about these, they had a sale on where you could get 3 patterns for X amount of dollars. I can't remember what it was, but the sale was 3 patterns. So I got this one and 2 others. And it wasn't until after I had purchased and I was looking at printing off a pattern to make for the Sew April blouse challenge, and I realised that the sizing is rubbish. I'm very sorry. I think this is the largest size they do, 48, a European 48. The other 2 patterns I have are a European 47, and I'm just going to have a look here at the measurements. So yeah, the 48, which is the largest size, is a bust of 108 centimetres or 42.5 inches. a waist of 90 centimetres or 35.4 inches, and hips of 114 centimetres and 44.9 inches. So that just happens to be pretty much me, almost bang on, which is great. But in this day and age, I find that quite strange. I was really surprised, and I'm sorry, I'm probably coming across very negative, but I've sort of stopped looking at the size bands for indie patterns, because for the most part there's really something there for everybody. Sorry, I just think that that's pretty stink in this day and age. Anyway, so I guess I'm going to judge what sort of a fit it is, whether I might be able to squeeze into the next size down for the other two patterns that I purchased, or if I can adjust them somehow, or perhaps the finished garment measurements will be enough that it will be a comfortable fit for me. But moving on from there, this is the fabric that I'm going to make the blouse out of. I love it. Again, this was a D-stash off Trade Me. It's a really nice rayon. Amazing amount of drape. Love those colours. Love, love, love. And I just think it's going to look so cute in that shape top with the ruffles. I think I'm going to put the buttons down the back. I don't think I've got buttons. I think I'm going to have to get buttons, but I'm going to put the buttons down the back. So that will be my first entry into the Sew April Blouse 23. Will only be the second ever competition I've entered. I entered one other, this Sew Wrap Challenge. I think it was September last year, which I was lucky enough to win a prize in. So yeah, pretty keen on that, and I think I probably will make another Elton blouse, like the green and black check one I showed you earlier on in the video. I think I'll probably make another one of those. I think I will shorten it because that one is quite long. I purposefully made that one long. It was back in the day when I wanted my bum to be covered at all costs. Thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with me. I know there are so many sewing bloggers to watch, so thank you so much for joining me. Please do subscribe. I know there are lots, probably half the people who watch me are not subscribed. The more people who subscribe, the more YouTube will throw me out to new people who haven't seen me before. It's just a way of helping me out. I hope that you enjoy watching my content. You must do, because you come back. So if you would please subscribe, I would really appreciate that. Not that I'm beating you up, because I want you to come back, but I also would like you to subscribe. Anyway, that's enough from me today. I look forward to seeing you next time. See ya!